Welcome back, rookies. Take a seat. Hopefully, you guys had a great bathroom break and a great quiz. We're going to jump right into Unit 1, Lesson 3, learning what to look for. Now, we talked about the stages of how to be prepared, and we talked about how to actually be aware, don't be drinking and riding and all that stuff. Now, we're actually going to look for things. We're going to be learning how to and what to look for, okay? So, rookies will be able to identify ways to be prepared in potentially hazardous situations. Hey, being on a motorcycle is actually kind of hazardous, so making sure that we're not doing anything dumb here. So rookies will be able to identify ways to be aware. Rookies will be able to describe actions to formulate an escape route. Escape route is where you're going to go just in case something happens. So red stage maneuver, boom, get out of here. Now the knowledge you're going to be learning though is you'll be able to learn how to be watchful on your bike. Using 360 situation awareness, your mirrors, your head checks, everything, and avoiding target fixation. You'll also be prepared on the bike by learning how to escape, where to escape, what's your following distance, looking out for traffic, what kind of patterns are you, out of sight? Are you, do you have an out? What is it? What is it? Okay. So here we go. So it's important to remember that while motorcycling is a hobby, that doesn't mean you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. We talked about that. That's white stage. Boom, we already know that one. What kills even more motorcyclists than alcohol is not knowing early warning signs to potentially hazardous situations. Now, if we're in yellow stage, we're paying attention, but what are we paying attention to? Okay. All right. So being watchful, here's the thing. So when we're out and actually paying attention, we actually see things way ahead of time. So if you're not paying attention, it's going to come up on you in about a second. If you're paying attention, it's going to maybe come up on you in about 4 seconds. But those 3 to 4 seconds that you actually gained is a lot. You're going to be able to do quite a bit. Remember, if you can't see it, you're not going to be able to dodge it. Okay. The sooner you see something, the sooner you react, the more space cushion, the more time you have to react, the more escape routes, all those different things that will pop up for you. Okay. So 360 situational awareness. That means in front of you, side to side, behind you, everywhere. Okay. It's not a sphere, so you don't really have to look up. Not a lot of dangers up ahead, but we are looking down. So maybe it's a little bit more than 360. Anyways, your eyes should be constantly on the move. Scan around. You're looking, 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 looking. I get it. It's not, it's a lot. You just want to focus what's in front of you, but you have to check your mirror, check your side to side, check in front of you. And that's going to keep you awake. Okay? If you're staying and focusing on forward, you might be going to sleep because, the wind noise. So look, I'm getting drowsy. Look, getting drowsy. Head check, head check. You know what I mean. So start going that route. Use your mirrors. Very important. I like to have the rabbit ears on mine. I don't want to have any under mirrors on my handlebars. I used to do that. I preferred just having it up there so I can see around my shoulder. But this is a car mirror, so same concept. You can be a car driver and be smart. You can be a motorcycle rider and be smart. Here's the thing. The mirrors are going to help you, okay? Part of the 360 situation awareness is not constantly doing this with the head checks. You don't want to take your eyes off the road. So a mirror is just a quick glance, quick glance, quick glance, quick glance. And you're trying to find and see if there's anything in there. If there's nothing there, that's fine. The uncommon thing in this common situation is that there's something right up on you. All right. So if you're concerned about the driver next to you, or if you feel there may be someone in the lane slightly behind you that you can't see in your mirrors, quickly look over your shoulder to check. Okay. So if I'm going to make a left-handed turn or switch lanes to my left, I'm driving a car because I don't have my endorsement yet. We're trying to be smart riders here in class. If I'm driving my car, I look in my mirror, nobody's there. Well, let me just do a quick check. Oh, crap, there's somebody in my blind spot. Thankfully, I didn't start going. And that's what's going to happen. Your mirrors aren't going to always save you. Just because you look at this mirror and it looks clear and you go, there could be somebody there. Always do a double check. Boom. Hey, somebody's there. Boom. Nobody's there. Cool. Go ahead and move over. Always utilize it. Mirrors, head checks. Mirrors, head checks. Mirrors, head checks. Okay? All right. So your blind spots can change every time you shift your mirror. So, right here, let's say you put your helmet on it, you took it off because you just got out of the Circle K or whatever. Now the mirror's a little crooked. So every time it gets messed up, every time you accidentally hit it because you're trying to walk between bikes, boom, you hit it. Got to adjust it. Make sure it's actually where you need to go. So right when you get on the bike, adjust them and then go ahead and take off. Okay. So make sure they are actually in the position you need. And then also, here's the thing, they're much smaller than a car. So that little mirror is not going to help you out too much. That's why you still have to do that head check. Do that head check. So constantly scan the road in front of you and check your mirrors every few seconds. I like to do that just because it keeps me awake. Keeping my eyes moving keeps me awake. I get a little drowsy, sitting in the back seat of a car, a long trip, boom, I'm out in 5 minutes. Okay, so this right here, it allows me to stay awake. So hazards on the any hazards down the road should be taken into consideration well before you have to act to avoid them. So you see like a big pothole, you see a big tree branch about 10 seconds ahead, you don't just keep going towards it. And then right at the last second, you're like, and then you try to go because who knows, there could be somebody in those blind spots and now you're stuck. So if you see it way ahead of time, go ahead and look, nobody's there. Go ahead and switch over and be ready. Get yourself out of that position already. We're going to talk about planning real soon. Okay. So early detection is the best defense for every situation a rider may encounter. The sooner a hazard is spotted, the more time you have to react. I already said that. Okay. Oh my gosh. I think they just wanted the picture of me right there. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks pretty good. Target fixation. Here we go. This is a great example because of rubbernecking. So like you're driving down and you see an accident, you do this. That's your neck is made out of rubber when you can do that. But anyways, you're fixated on that target and you're still driving. Boom, you hit something. Okay, it's a good example. A lot of firefighters and police officers have died that way. So take care not to focus too long on any one detail around you, especially in the event of an accident. Okay, so it's the same thing here. But you can also target fixate on, say, let's say you're going through the corner and you see like a telephone pole, and you're going through the corner, but then you start going a little wide and now you stare at that telephone pole and then you start going towards that telephone pole. Very careful. Focus on what's important. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on the path of travel you're going. So with this situation, we're riding, we're looking, boom, we hit something in front of us. We're going through a corner, we're looking, boom, we hit that pole. We start going to that. You need to go towards the corner. You need to go towards where you're supposed to be going, okay? Same thing. I already talked about this. You fix on the target, you'll move towards it. So if you want to pause this, go ahead, take a look at this. I just explained it all. You're more focused on the hazard or accident, you're going to go towards it. You're following your line of sight, okay? Be prepared to escape. Now, this is very, very important. Always have an escape path. Okay, we're going to talk about that with positioning for safety and the plan method. Line of sight, escape paths, and space cushions are what you're looking for. How closely should you follow a car in front of you to best ensure you can avoid an accident should one occur? What's the answer? Far enough that you can quickly react to avoid an emergency. So if we're going 80 miles an hour and we want to be 5 seconds behind somebody, I don't think that's good. But if we're 5 seconds behind somebody in town and we're only going 25, 35, yeah, that's plenty of time. So it's always going to be adjusted based off of speed, based off of conditions, based off of everything. Basically, here's the thing, what your gut tells you. If your gut says something like, I don't know, listen to it. Now, if you have that gut that says, go ahead and do everything, you got to start using that then. Okay. So following distance, here we go. So maintain a minimum cushion about 4 seconds between you and traffic in front of you while moving. Okay, and here's the thing. A minimum 4 seconds no matter where you're at. If you're going 25, 15, when you're going 85, a minimum 4 seconds. 85, 4 seconds is not going to do a lot, but it's better than being at 1 second. So pay attention, focus. So that space cushion and following distance, that's the biggest thing. So you're following somebody. So if somebody's right in front of you, you're going to need to be able to brake in time, or you're going to need to be able to swerve around them in time. And do you have enough time if you do it right here and you only have half a second to react, or back here with 4+ seconds? I can brake, I can swerve, maybe brake, maybe swerve, maybe brake. I don't know. What do I do? Or it's like, I can brake, maybe swerve, I already hit. That's the biggest problem. All right, so following distance right here. Once again, the easiest way to estimate your following distance is to choose a landmark and begin counting once the vehicle in front of you has passed it. So I like to use the mile markers or a telephone pole. I see that they pass it. 1 motorcycle, 2 motorcycle, 3 motorcycle, 4 motorcycle. Oh, I'm 4 seconds behind that car in front of me once I pass the same exact thing. So they pass the light pole, 4 seconds. Because I passed the light pole at that 4 seconds, boom, 4-second following distance. As long as I'm maintaining my speed with theirs. So watching traffic. Oh, here we go. While you're following at least 4 seconds behind the car in front of you, look through their vehicle and examine what's 3 seconds in front of them. So I like to do that. We're in a good spot where we're on a motorcycle and we have like this perfect line of sight through their back window, through their front window. And you can see like the headlights, or not headlights, you can see the brake lights in front of that person. And so when they apply the brakes, you know you're going to need to soon anyways, because they're going to apply the brakes. Another thing is you can actually get into a position where you can see around them with a good line of sight and good positioning. Like I said, we'll talk about planning, and you can actually see way ahead. And the reason for that is now you have a 7-second reaction time, but a 4-second following distance. That makes sense. Okay. We'll talk more about that if it doesn't. We have a quiz. You can always ask me later. So, out of sight. So, even if everything in your field of view seems safe, make sure you're prepared for potential hazards that can occur. Is this a construction zone? Is your lane ending? Is your exit coming up? Or how could any of this impact your ride? Give yourself as much time as possible. So, out of sight, line of sight, all these different things where something's going to block your vision. So, all this foggy area is going to block your vision. So, maybe you only have 3 seconds of vision because you can't see past the fog. It could be a blind corner. It could be the weather like this. It could be a bunch of buses and a bunch of semis in your way and you can't see around that. So, your hazard is going to be out of sight. Okay. So, have an out. Here we go. Once again, you guys can just go ahead and pause it so you can read this if you want. Okay. Have an out. Your eyes should always be on the move, searching out even hints of danger so that you can identify a potential hazard in time to avoid it. So, one of the things I like to do is look for patterns. We're going to be talking about that. So, the side of the vehicle means that that person is going that way. If I'm going this way, I don't want the vehicle to T-bone me, and I don't want to T-bone the vehicle. So, having these little itty-bitty patterns, having these clues are very important. That's how serious I am when it comes to vision. I'm just in a parking lot, but I am focused. You need to be focused too. Zone in. Okay. So have an out. For example, if there's an accident in front of you, do you have time to stop or change lanes to avoid it? Or are you going to have to pull off the side of the road so traffic behind you doesn't run you over? So let's say we slam the brakes right here. The vehicle behind us isn't paying attention, boom, hits us. That's that last part. Maybe we have to swerve and get off the road so that vehicle hits that vehicle, not us. We don't have a crumple zone. We don't have airbags. They do. Okay. Trying to protect us. What about, we're not paying attention. We start going, and then all of a sudden we slam the brakes. Why didn't we start slowing down here? Right? What about changing lanes? Can we change lanes? No, we'll get hit by this vehicle. So we really only have this total stopping distance. We only have this time to brake and stop, or we can swerve where my hand disappeared and go that way. All right. So we have to make these decisions, but do you want to make it at the last second or do you want to make it back here? That's the biggest thing. So note that even bicycle lanes or narrow shoulders of the road can be used during an emergency. So you see that shoulder right over there? We could easily swerve over there. Cars can't, but we can, just in case we can't stop in time. So it is illegal to do it, but here's the thing. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You don't know what that means? 12 jurors, take it to court and fight the thing, or 6 pallbearers because you're dead and you're in a coffin. So if you notice with this lesson, we talked about what it is that you should be looking for, how to prepare yourself. We're not over here blaming car drivers for not seeing us. We're not over here making sure that it's somebody else's fault. It's all ours. We're on the bike. We chose to be on the bike. We chose to ride in traffic. We have to do something ourselves. So I'm giving you the very generalized basic stuff here about what to look for. You look for hazards. You look for cars. You look for road surface stuff. You look for crazy patterns that could be coming out. There's an ambulance here. There's a fire truck here. Are you rubbernecking? Don't do that. That's that thing that's going to hopefully trigger in your mind to keep looking forward. Same thing in the corners. Remember, awareness stages: white, yellow, orange, red, brown. White, yellow, orange, red, brown. Focus, 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 focus. It's very, very important that we're paying attention so we're not doing anything dumb. So what I want you guys to do now is that I want you, after you take your quiz, I want you to go out, ride a bicycle, walk around, and just start scanning. Practice your yellow stage. And once you get closer to an intersection, maybe in your neighborhood, it's just a driveway or whatever. Pretend you're in orange stage. Now you're scanning for things. What is going to get you? Go ahead and write it down in your brain somehow. What is going to get you? Is it a dog, cat, car, kid? What? It doesn't matter. When you're out driving next time, figure out what the real hazards are. Pay attention. Focus, focus, focus. All right, so we know what we're looking for, and we are good to ride. How are we going to be seen, though? This is what we're going to be trying to do with other car drivers out there, is trying to get seen. High-vis gear, how to present while riding, next Saturday. I'll see you there.